Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, and Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that told me this truth that rule well. Shalom to the elect that scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Paya. And as you can see here, these are different articles, with similar headlines, right, going into the Bank of England, where they stated, basically a plan for a financial crisis sparked by aliens, as they say. Different headlines. Like over here in the Independent, it says Bank of England must plan for financial crisis triggered by aliens, says former policy experts. And when you go into history, not too long ago, where you had Ronald Reagan when he was ruling, I believe he was the spokesman during, I wasn't the United Nations committee, but I remember it was Ronald Reagan where he mentioned how he wanted to bring all the countries together by having a outside invasion. What you think he was talking about then? So-called aliens. Which the word alien just goes back to stranger in a sojourn land, right? But mentally, how they've been programming the masses, people will look at it like, oh, UFOs, little green man coming down. Now they're gonna have to, have a whole new world order, a reset, gathering these nations to fight a common enemy, which is deceptive, right? Because, we know those that are in the know, if you know, you know. We know Esau got technology like Project Bluebeam, where they could, have the sky as a green screen to manipulate people to see things that's not really there. You know what I mean? Because you got something called problem, reaction, solution. They cause the problem, they see the reactions of the people, then they want to slither in with a solution. You see? And those that's not watching and praying, they're going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe, so to speak. That's why the Lord always said, watch and pray. So we watch for these current events constantly, and then we filter it to the scriptures so that we're what? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? It tells you that in the NLT. It says what? We're not ignorant of what? Of his evil schemes. You see? Because what the Lord said, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So you can't, the simple believeth every word. And they got technology to where with the radiation, with these 5G, 6G towers, the radiation from your phones, whatever, have you thinking that, the God that you praying to is actually calling you. You know what I mean? But anyway, I might skim through a bit, but I want to get this precept real quick. Without further ado, all right? This is the book of Revelations, chapter 12, and verse 9. We're going to go straight to the point. Verse 9, it says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, right? So that, we know who the dragon is talking about. These Edomite nations that was cast out. That old serpent, which that old serpent goes back to what? The Garden of Eden. He came as a serpent. Just like if you call a nigga a snake, you would use a lying, conniving ass person. Esau, when Eve was deceived by that other nation at the time, because it wasn't just Adam and Eve at that time. It wasn't a red man with horns and manipulating her. No. Because in the book of Genesis, the 5th chapter, you had Edomites. Salakia. Forgive me. You had Adamites. So he had other children. He had, there was still other people on the earth at the time. Because if not, then what? They're going to cause incest? No, the Lord's not the author of confusion. But that old serpent, going back to Genesis, which is what? Still here today. It's like Cain and Abel. Did not Cain commit the first murder? He's still here today. You see? So, but the point is, it says, called the devil. The word devil just means deceiver, right? And it's, damn, it says, and Satan. Right there, it just shows you that they're two separate entities, the devil and Satan. Because you got Satan in the spiritual realm, controlling the devil, the deceivers, a nation, which is who? The Edomites. All right? Which, it says, which deceived the whole world. Damn. Through way what? Their philosophies, their treaties, their executive orders, running down on other countries with their military might, taking their land and their oil, just like they did to you fucking you slacker, you Negros, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the biblical Israelites, and you still trusting your enemy. If you don't know who your enemy is, how you know his tactics? If you don't know his tactics, how you gonna be able to pray or fight against or go against it? Not even physically, but spiritually, more so. Because a prayer itself is spiritual power. That name alone causes things. That's why you must believe. But it says, let's start from the top. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, meaning going back to the beginning, right? Which is, he's still here today. How we know that? We still in captivity, aren't we? It says, called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world, right? Other nations, our people. It says, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So that's just the whole nation. Right? Because angels go back to what? Messengers. Because you can have a lying messenger. Do they not give messages throughout the TV, television, telling lies to your vision every day? Right? Through the social media, you got people being deceived through AI, which that's a demon within itself, So that's why you can't just fall for anything that you hear, So the Lord got to sup with you through the Spirit to give you that eyesight to discern, like, oh, nah, that ain't it. Oh, I can see that. You know what I mean? To be able to, understand. Because the scripture said we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So, spirits could come through. Hey, you got a show called Black Mirror. You know what I mean? What's a Black Mirror? Your phone, the TV. But anyway, that's the same serpent that's deceiving everywhere. He's talking about aliens. Talking about the banks. And I've been said this. My brother said this. My apostle said this about a bank collapse coming real soon. Here it is. We're in 2026. Now they about to bring in or implement that digital, there's stages to it. Right? But they're saying the Bank of England must plan for financial crisis triggered by aliens, says former policy expert. Financial markets could collapse if the American government confirms the existence of alien life. Was they not talking about Atlas 31 not too long ago? First of all, Esau got technology, but for so far where the Lord set up a bound to where they cannot pass. as the scriptures say. So, you know, they're not out there in space. They never went to space. They can't even pass the Van Allen belt, which covers the whole earth with, the globe. You know what I mean? Because that's how the Lord set it up. They couldn't even go to certain depths of the ocean because of the pressure, you know? And even if they did, hey, the Lord got Leviathan. You know what I mean? So if they did, you won't see them ever again. You know? But now, with that being stated, that's another way for them to deceive the whole world to bring in what? Revelation 13 and 16. That M-A-R-K of the beast. He caused the fall both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive what? A digital device in their foreheads or in their right hand. If not, you can't buy or sell. You know, why you think things are collapsing internally first? Just like it happened in Rome. People losing jobs, prices raising, the dollar's collapsing. You know, now banks is shutting down. Major franchise businesses is going bankrupt. You know? So these are things that you got to look for. Understand it. You know? Understand how it's prophetic. And put the pieces together to understand the times you in. Because the scriptures say what? The Lord's going to come like a thief in the night. He's only going to come as a thief in the night to those that's not watching. Like a motherfucker sleeping. You don't expect for your house to get robbed at 3, 4 in the morning. It's unexpected. That's how the Lord's going to come unexpected to those that's not watching. You know? Oh, my... You know? And that's why you got to understand these trial runs as well. Because they plan these trial runs to see the reactions of the people. And then, oh, business as usual. And Jake got fucking short attention spans. Excuse my French, but it's the truth. Then they forget, oh, not so long ago, it was a couple states where they was only limited to take out a certain amount of money from an ATM. What if you got to pay rent? What if your phone got to, you know what I mean? What if you got to put gas in your car? You can't go to work. Now, you know what I mean? So that's something called rationalizing. They did that in the 70s. They did that, you know what I mean? So you had lines. I mean, long ass lines in the 70s just to get gas in your car. You know, because they were testing the people. Right? So don't be ignorant of Satan's devices, man. You know? Because, these things must come to pass. Right? So it said the UK must plan for a financial crisis that would be triggered if the US government announced that aliens exist. A former Bank of England expert has said Helen McCall probably Irish, who served as a senior analyst in financial security at the UK Central Bank, has written to Andrew Bailey, the Bank of England's governor, urging him to set out contingencies in case the White House ever confirms the existence of alien life, according to the Times, right? According to, the Times, their newspapers, or, you know what I mean? Oh, snap. It says, Miss McCall, who worked for the Bank of England for 10 years until 2012, and ain't that something? Did not they say the earth was going to end in 2012? How about that? Right? Go figure. Said politicians and bankers can no longer afford to dismiss talk of alien life, and that's just showing you now, because they could use that to bring in what's that called? Like a national, like a national security alert, to shut things down. Oh, it's a blackout. The grid is down. Oh, it's outside. Whatever. However they're gonna perform it. I'm not gonna say, when and where, because I don't know when. I don't know what time or day, but I know it's coming. you know? And that's just part of being a watchman, sitting on the watchtower, right? Let's get another preset real quick. Hold on. Because now they want to say this all of a sudden. While all hell is breaking loose, they're about to attack Iran, which is one of the last countries that they need to for the oil reserves. Because after that, that's it. Russia, China's going to get involved. So the stage is set to implement this digital chip. You know, they got cashless payments. Amazon, you could pay with your palm, your digital ID. You know, you saw what they did when they shut down the TSA workers for the airports. People couldn't fly. So now they trying to bring in the 6G towers, which I believe China got the 10G, I believe. You know, but what is that for? Because you have, who was it? The speaker for the World's Health Organization, was speaking about how, real soon, people's going to be emerged with technology. So that's going from the industrial revolution, right? Where we was farming, then they had machines to be able to, technology to help the farming, right? And now they want people to emerge with these new technology, with this, which is the fourth industrial revolution, which is prophecy, man. You can read in Revelation 13:16, Revelation 14:2, Revelation 15:2, Revelation 16:2, and it tells you the repercussions of those. And you know what? And there was a lady from, I think she was in Britain. There was a video. I might do that in my next video, my lesson rather. She was saying how, mind you, she's overseas, being recorded, talking about how Trump is going to bring in a national security, or implement a state of emergency rather, and having the American people on edge, you know? And that's what we're seeing now. We're witnessing that. Right? So let me get another preset. I mean, you brothers, you believing sisters, whoever, watching could, listen, type it in. You got different articles going into it. You know? Could read it for yourself. Right? But, that just goes to show you right there, man, that, because World War III is not going to happen until the mark of the beast is fully implemented. The hour of temptation, you know? And that's it. That's the major prophecies right there. That and Jacob's troubles, because troubled times is hitting these cities, these states, these countries, families, businesses, like major establishments people rely on for just health wise or whatever, housing departments. So, so that old serpent, the devil and Satan, right? Because that's how they deceiving the world. But now, I'm going to get real quick, get another preset. Let's go to the book. Let's go to Isaiah. And I didn't want to make this too long. I just want to, Lord willing is edifying, straight to the point. But this is the book of Isaiah. Slack here. Bear with me. Alright, chapter 10, verse 1, it says, "Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the rights from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and and that they may rob the fatherless, right? So, just like how they making these treaties and changing up laws, you know, and Lord willing, I might put that video of Ronald Reagan speaking about it in the beginning, just so you could visually, understand what I'm saying. To those that didn't see it, right? That's what they doing, showing you that the Constitution was never for you niggas, so-called niggas, wetbacks and spicks as they call us. And I say it like that to understand, like, the hate that they have for us. You know what I mean? And they showing their horns now. Because we really the biblical Israelites. And the majority is gonna have to perish, man. Because y'all don't want to get right. That's why Isaiah says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he is near." Isaiah 55:6. He is near. How do we know he's near? Well, we're watching the prophecies. We're watching everything he said that was gonna happen before his second return. So yeah, we in them times, you know? So they changing the laws. They're changing these things with their wicked devices to come down having great wrath upon our people. Why? Because they know that they have but a short time. Revelation 12:12. And that's how they want to be like the Most High. Like it says in Isaiah 14. Do away their technology, their weapons, their military might, their missiles, their satellites, their little chips, their little, bullshit. Because at the end of the day, that's not going to affect the men of the Lord. The women that believe, even children, whoever the Lord had mercy on at that time. Right? But it's not a coincidence, though. How they've been speaking about, you had so much military personnel speaking up about how they were shooting outside angelic vehicles and they couldn't catch it. I wonder why. Because the angels just be messing with them. Just chum 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 chum. What's your little, what's your little, what's pew pew gonna do to, the angels of the Lord. You know what I mean? But that just shows you that they really in fear for real. Who's really winning? You know what I mean? It's more of us against them. But they're gonna use it against those that's unaware of it. These Christians, they believe in green men. Since when you have went to a Christian church and they told you the angels is flying in them angelic in vehicles? Never. Because they signed a 501c3 charter, so they can't tell you the truth. They're bound by secrecy, by order, by oath. They pledge allegiance to Esau. That's why, hey man, But I just wanted to bring this out real quick. Just, two quick precepts. Because we know who the angels of the Lord is. Scriptures tell you. There's so many scriptures that speaks about the angels of the Lord. They coming for salvation, also they coming for destruction. Right? But anyway, so yeah. Then you gotta understand everything that's going on at the same time. To be able to understand the bigger picture, just like putting a puzzle together. You got one piece, you probably got like 5 pieces. It's not showing you the bigger picture. You're like, where this piece go? Hold on. That don't look familiar. But now you see the whole board, and it's like, oh, okay. But for most people, it's gonna be too late. But anyway, I just wanted to blow the trumpet on this real quick. Because it's showing you how the fiat currency is about to collapse, the banks. And then they're talking about an invasion. If there is an invasion, sounds like war, right? If another country invades. Is not the other country considered as aliens too? Think about it. You gotta listen to what these heathens are saying. They speak in codes as well. The phone had to chime for that one. They speak in code 2 times. Knowledge. So understand the knowledge that's being given. You know, because does not the scripture say the saints shall take the kingdom? How are we gonna do that when Michael the archangel comes? Oh, he's an angel. He's an angel of war. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstones, told me this truth that rule well. Shalom to the elect scattered through the four corners of the earth, as well as the women and children. Till next time, I'm gonna say shalom.